The fact that rappers have previously been caught carrying drugs into jail is absurd. Young Thug attempted to record music through the courthouse so that he could use Tory Lanez's fully equipped cell. Chef G Melly, who had a VONW, a game system, and a flat-screen TV, had been working on pipe bombs and shanks. Considering the list of items he could sneak in with Will Shock, Dario was going to have a blast in the prison. Let's start by discussing the cell phone. Dario may have access to a cell phone while he is in jail. A few days ago, the OT head chief was first heard speaking from a prison cell in a purported jail chat. An Instagram user going by the handle 900brabra posted an audio recording purportedly featuring the OTF CEO during the 2-minute conversation. Despite the difficult situation, Lil Durk is heard being upbeat and tells the caller that he is content and resolved to go back home and be with his family.
I said, I know you're rich. If you need anything, you know I got you. I appreciate it.
Additionally, a myth that has been circulating on social media was debunked. The rapper on the tape vehemently disputes the notion that he is in protective custody, claiming that he is treated equally to other prisoners and is not given any special care. This assertion was controversial. Some viewed it as proof of his tenacity. The post description said, "Just got off the phone with my brother Lil Durk. He's in good spirits, staying positive, and fighting to get back home to his kids and family," even if other users were still doubting the call's legitimacy. To say that we are more than just street boys would be an understatement. No matter how wealthy we are honor and code men. Although Lil Durk's Instagram activity suggests that he is associated with the OTF label, he has shared photos of himself with Book S600 and worked with OTF artists like Bonnie Mo. It is unclear how he and 900brabra are related. However, given the lack of official confirmation, concerns are raised by the public's ongoing doubt regarding the audio's authenticity. He is not the first, though, to use a cell phone while in captivity. Rapper Casanova of New York warned of life in prison on social media.
Look, you don't want to come here, I'm telling you. You don't want to come here, trust me.
Because he thought he would die in prison, the rapper has previously cautioned young people against going there. Tay K, another rapper who was caught using a cell phone while incarcerated, was allegedly kept in solitary confinement for 23 hours every day, according to the caption. "I hope you're young and funny. You might die here, but always remember what's gangster, because this jail isn't gangster at all." On July 25, sheriff's officers found a cell phone concealed in TK's underwear, further complicating his legal situation. When confronted, prison officials reacted immediately. Tay K allegedly tried to destroy the phone, which led to a brawl. After the incident rapidly escalated and attracted the attention of the authorities, a new charge was filed against him. According to court documents, Tank was charged with possessing a forbidden object in a prison facility, which is a third-degree misdemeanor. Despite never having been caught in possession of a cell phone, wealthy rapper Durkio might be concealing additional illicit stuff in his phone. The irony is that Lil Durk and Chef G have a lot in common. According to Lil Durk's indictment, Chef G was accused of providing his pals with expensive dinners, and the OTF chief allegedly promised his gang members money and lucrative recording possibilities in exchange for their song performances. To gain an idea of what it would involve, we must examine the other rappers who have served time in prison. PlayStation. It's possible that Durk has an entire game console in his cell. In a carefully thought-out operation on May 16, the IPD targeted innocent members of a well-known gang, including 2 well-known rappers, Chef G and Sleepy Hallow. Even though these rappers' tracks had millions of views, their entire worlds were turned upside down when law enforcement captured them in a netcast. The operation was the outcome of continuous intelligence collection and surveillance, centered on the Crown Heights and Flatbush communities, which had long been under danger from the 8 Trey Gang and the 9-Way Gang. The magnitude of the group was illustrated by the indictment, which included an astounding 140 charges against 32 people in a string of horrific killings. At least 12 shootings and a horrifyingly documented murder were said to have been committed by the organization. The group under Chef G's leadership had to organize, plan, and execute disruptive events that rocked the community. From Brooklyn to Manhattan, and even as far away as New Jersey, the gang had expanded. Eric Gonzalez, the district attorney for Brooklyn, disclosed that Chef G's music revenues were purportedly used to finance the gang's activities. According to reports, the rapper encouraged gang members to carry out violent crimes by using his wealth to finance additional gang activity. One violent event that attracted our notice was the ludicrous foolishness of a mass shooting in Brooklyn. The suspects reportedly arrived in a car and began shooting at members of a rival organization. The resulting chaos left witnesses running in terror, with one person murdered and 5 others injured. The massacre revealed a horrific carnival of brutality. Val Gonzalez claimed that when Chef G was confined, he was having fun with gaming consoles, while other rappers were preparing for combat with bombs and shanks. In addition, it is said that Chef G celebrated their deadly score against the gunmen's actions by treating them to a lavish steak dinner at a restaurant in Manhattan. Durkio would want to learn from Lion Dewey Melly about staying safe in prison, as the rapper was found in possession of some of the most absurd weapons, including bombs and shanks. When they discovered Contraband in Melly's chamber, it was like something from a crime movie, and the jail staff's normal inspection swiftly escalated into a high-stakes operation. On what seemed to be a normal day, Broward County jail officials unexpectedly inspected the rapper's cell. As they meticulously combed through his belongings, they discovered something really strange. There were several personal items that were handmade. He is given prescription drugs and more worrisomely, pipe bombs. Following the shocking finding, the facility was immediately placed under lockdown, and a thorough investigation into the possible admittance of such hazardous items was carried out. The jail staff initially responded that the rapper, who was already facing serious double homicide charges, had to deal with the possibility of additional charges related to the contraband after swift and decisive security measures were tightened and an internal investigation was started to determine whether there was any inside assistance in smuggling the contraband. At a pre-trial hearing for Melly's double murder case on September 27, 2022, the prosecution disclosed startling information about the rapper's involvement in other bizarre instances. They provided evidence, obtained from a confidential source, of Melly's scheme to escape from the Broward County Jail. According to the alleged plan, which was believed to have started to take shape in April, Melly's lawyer brought in 2 chain keys to aid in the escape. Raven Liberty, Melly's attorney, vehemently denied the shocking claims of an escape plot. She strongly denied the accusations, saying they were baseless and part of a campaign to discredit her client. She also mentioned that Melly was strip searched before and after every visit, emphasizing the strict security protocols that make it difficult for any illegal items, including handcuff keys, to evade discovery. Prosecutors have also accused Liberty of exploiting her login credentials to allow unrecorded video visits and Melly of making unauthorized calls, in addition to the accusations against the escape plan. Rowdy Shmurda was also captured, and his tale is equally strange. Melly was not the only rapper suspected of getting outside assistance while awaiting trial at Rikers Island in July 2015. Now Shmurda was being accused of prison contraband once more. The event reportedly occurred during a routine visit from his girlfriend, Kimberly Russo, in the summer of 2015. According to the prosecution, Russo attempted to present Shmurda with a fake knife concealed within a rubber glove she wore beneath her bra. Vigilant prison guards foiled this audacious scheme, and Russo and Shmurda were indicted in Bronx criminal court. Shmurda appeared before the court and entered a not guilty plea to the contraband counts, arguing that the charges were baseless and that Russo had not informed him of his plans. The girlfriend was also charged with encouraging jail contraband, even though he entered a not guilty plea. Durkio enjoys listening to music, thus he will want it playing while he is in his cell. He won't be the first rapper to sneak in a music player either, as Lil Wayne established the standard. Like his 2007 career, the rapper's arrival story on Rikers Island in 2010 is equally remarkable. Lil Wayne's life changed dramatically when he was arrested in New York City for unlawfully owning a weapon. After a show at the Beacon Theater, police discovered a loaded .40 caliber handgun in his tour car, despite the efforts of his legal team. Wayne entered a guilty plea to the charges in 2009 and was given a 1-year term at Rikers Island, a prison that houses some of New York's most seasoned offenders. Even though headphones and an MP3 charger seemed innocuous outside of prison, the rapper's possession of them while incarcerated was determined to be unlawful. The fact that it was discovered early on a Tuesday morning, wrapped in an aluminum potato chip bag and hidden in a trash can, suggests that the items were intentionally hidden. How the contraband reached a well-known prisoner was one of the many questions the incident brought up. Although inmates at Rikers Island are permitted to purchase headphones and a standard AM/FM radio from the jail canteen, the MP3 charger and headphones discovered in Wayne's possession were unlawful. Following this protocol violation, prison officials immediately began an investigation because they were keen to ascertain the source of the contraband and the extent of any internal cooperation. To make matters more complicated, an MP3 player was found in the cell of another prisoner during a subsequent check of the housing area where Lil Wayne was being held. Concerns over a possible network of contraband exchange within the jail were raised since, despite the fact that Wayne and the other inmate were both charged with possessing contraband, it was unclear what kind of punishment they would receive at this time. Lil Wayne and the unnamed convict were immediately housed in separate living quarters by Rikers Island officials while the investigation was underway in an effort to stop any further cooperation or illegal item exchange. In an earlier interview with Rolling Stone before his incarceration, Lil Wayne stated that the contraband was more than just a breach of jail regulations. Wayne has already stated that he wants an iPod and to continue to be beaten when he is in prison. Was found with an MP3 charger and headphones. Following a shooting incident that injured fellow rapper Megan Thee Stallion in the foot, Canadian singer Tory Lanez was found guilty in 2022 of assault with a semi-automatic pistol, possessing a loaded and concealed firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. Tor was found guilty and given a 10-year prison sentence, which significantly altered his life and profession. However, since he had initiated the prison recording series, his incarceration would not be permanent. This next act might inspire Durk to keep using recording equipment and writing songs indoors. Tory stayed committed to this musical career in spite of his imprisonment. He shared a call recording on Instagram to show that he and his engineer had finally been able to produce music on the cell phone that was comparable to his earlier work outside of prison. However, after releasing a few recordings, the rapper Joy's equipment was confiscated, ending his brief career. An important turning point in Tor's ongoing saga was the surprise raid at the California Correctional Institution. When prison officials inspected a cell block, it started off as a typical day, but soon became a historic event with far-reaching consequences. Using the same techniques I used on the street, my engineer and I were finally able to record music on the jail phone. The equipment that had been necessary for Lanez to be able to create music while he was in custody was found and seized by authorities during this search of the cell, ending his jail cassette series and igniting a swirl of rumors and controversy. This was done in accordance with the prison's stringent rules, which forbid inmates from owning recording equipment. Among the reasons cited to justify this prohibition are security vulnerabilities and the potential for unlawful communication with the outside world. A key member of Lanez's legal team and the CEO of Unite the People, Cesar McDowell, responded quickly to the event. McDowell confirmed that jail officials had already warned Tor's crew about the violation, emphasizing the facility's stringent policies surrounding recording devices. Despite these warnings, the removal of the equipment had a significant negative impact on Tor's artistic endeavors and his ability to interact with his fan base. Finally speaking out about the issue, the rapper disclosed that prison officials had terminated his project because they knew he was helping other inmates find a path to freedom.
Rumors are true. The prison tapes will be discontinued until further notice, Tory began.
But I believe that my supporters need to know the truth about this situation. My cell wasn't looted and destroyed because I made the prison tape and learned how to record myself while I was in prison. I was shut down when the higher-ups saw what I was actually doing with the jail films and how many inmates were receiving life-changing assistance as a result. The artist said he planned to use the money he made from his initiatives to help convicts with their legal issues. Since July, I have actively reopened 476 cases and provided legal assistance to 472 detainees, despite the jail administrators temporarily halting my primary objective. In order to provide my fellow prisoners a once-in-a-lifetime chance to be reunited with their families upon appeal and resentencing, I'm trying to figure out how to record songs and use the proceeds to assist them in hiring attorneys. He is utilizing Duro's money and connections, and it would be startling to see him imitate Tor's drug use. Many rappers have been caught taking narcotics. Rapper TKG Fred was arrested in 2022 after attempting to smuggle drugs into Clayton Prison. He and 4 other people were seen carrying mobile phones, cigarettes, booze, and drugs to the prison and discarding them behind the security gate. However, Fred is not the only rapper found in possession of drugs while incarcerated. Blueface was also busted smoking meth earlier this year in June. Correctional officials decided to surprise everyone by looking into the rapper's cell as part of their daily shower that morning. He was unaware that jail guards would raid his cell. Once the rapper was safely out of sight, the authorities turned his cell inside out and discovered a startling white powder. They asserted that after analyzing the powder, they discovered that it was crystal meth that had infiltrated the institution. Despite Blueface being caught with meth in his cell, Young Thug chose to go one step farther and sell drugs in court. What should have been a normal hearing turned out to be anything but. In what would become a well-publicized incident, his attorney was present with his co-defendant KF Adams. Authorities claimed that Adams abruptly went up to Young Thug and started exchanging drugs with him. According to court filings, the behavior was captured on camera, which added drama to the already stressful sessions. Young Thug was walking alone when Adams put something in his hand. According to the prosecution, the item was a prescription drug called Percocet. According to some, Young Thug planned to hide the illicit item beneath the table, but a vigilant sheriff's officer saw the transaction and intervened quickly to halt it. The officer went to Young Thug and removed the Percocet from him in order to keep things from going worse. The court hearings were delayed as a result of the police's handling of the incident. Deputies searched Adams after he allegedly objected and found numerous prohibited things, including tobacco, marijuana, and other objects wrapped in plastic and food seasonings to cover off the odor. This sudden development added a new dimension to the case as the courtroom considered the ramifications of the unlawful distribution and possession that took place within its walls. Concerns were raised regarding public safety and the lengths people would go to in order to circumvent the law. In actuality, Duro has fought drug addiction for a while. The rapper disclosed earlier this year that he had checked himself into a recovery facility.
Listen, we got word that you were in rehab.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, can we talk about that a little bit?
No, we good. I want to embrace it, you know what I'm saying? Because it helped me a lot. I wouldn't even say it was tough at first. It was tough at first, but it ain't that tough because I really knew what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I knew.
In order to improve as a father and leader, he also disclosed his wish to kick his Xanax and codeine addiction.
Is that what it was codeine?
Yeah, Xanax. I want to better. You know what I'm saying? I want to be a better man, a better father, a better leader.
And now that he might be allowed to bring drugs into the jail, it appears that all of his hard work could be undone. I hope he stays sober as he manages the institution. It was discovered, perhaps surprisingly, that Young Thug and a co-conspirator ran the jail and sold drugs in courtrooms. 5 persons were detained in the bribery and contraband incident at the Fulton County Detention Center, including an inmate connected to Atlanta musician Young Thug. The explosive examination revealed a network of corruption that had penetrated the very core of the legal system. Carmen Bailey, a former security guard at the detention center, was accused of accepting bribes and giving prisoners illegal goods. A variety of questionable behaviors within the Fulton County Detention Center initially sparked concerns, which prompted a more thorough review of the facility's operations and the start of an investigation into the bribery and contraband scandal. The investigation quickly found that Carmen Bailey, a former guard at a correctional facility, was at the heart of a convoluted web of illegal activity. 3 major charges, including 2 instances of bribery, 4 counts of breaking the oath of office, and 2 counts of acquiring, obtaining, or transporting unconstitutional detainees, led to the arrest of 31-year-old former guard Carmen Bailey on October 4. Her arrest was a major investigative breakthrough that revealed the level of corruption within the correctional complex. Bailey departed the scene early this year as the investigation was underway. In September 2023, he began working there. The charges against Bailey are startling and enlightening. She allegedly collected more than 20 payments totaling $7,000 from the family of the prisoners under her supervision. These payments were purportedly made in exchange for bringing illicit items into the premises, which was a grave breach of security and trust. The shortcomings of the penitentiary facility and the ease with which corruption is made possible by this. Bailey's communication with the family of Marquavius High, a prisoner who was on trial with Atlanta rapper Young Thug in a well-known gang and racketeering case, was one of the story's most noteworthy links. The prosecution claims that Young Thug's group, the YSL, is accountable for several murders. The defense, however, argues that YSL is not a criminal operation, but rather only the name of Young Thug's music label. The investigation found that Bailey took money from Who's 18-year-old sister, Jamia Hooley, and his 45-year-old mother, Melissa Hooley. The single offense for which the 2 women are charged is, with so much bread on hand, Durk will have no trouble trying to convince penitentiary officials to work for him. It will be interesting to see if he is caught with anything because he could smuggle anything to prison. The Huey family became even more embroiled in the war as a result of bribery. These individuals' participation illustrates the intricate web of relationships and transactions that made it easier for illicit products to enter the prison.